Today was a kind of down day for me because I remember that today is my 15-year-old's birthday. My baby, my first baby, 15 today. So I was in the store and I'm like, I want some cake. And like, I haven't wanted cake for a long time. For like, I think a few months now. I used to get those sliced cakes all the time with some ice cream, but I haven't wanted cake for a long time. And I wanted some cake. I was like, I want some birthday cake for some reason. And then I pulled up in the yard to come back in the house, and my daughter calls me and she's like, "Hey, mom, you mad at me?" And I'm like, "Mad at you for what?" And she's like, "Because you didn't call me, you didn't text me, you didn't say nothing about me." She's like, "You forgot what today was?" And I'm like, I look on the calendar because we have been so in and out and back and forth and just stressing about this house. I forget what day it is. Like, I don't even know. I didn't even know the date today. So I was like, oh my God, today is the 25th. And I'm like, oh yeah, happy birthday. And so, yeah, I was kind of depressed and I kind of felt bad because, yeah, I almost forgot my daughter's birthday today. I remember when, like, I was fresh out the case and I had, you know, gave guardianship to that piece of shit woman. That woman named Yolanda, I gave her guardianship, and her birthday, Nevaeh's birthday came around, and I called, and me and her had gotten to an argument. This is how dirty and low down she is. Me and her got into an argument, and she knew her birthday was coming up, and so I called, and she wouldn't answer the phone. And then when I called and called and called, finally she answered the phone. You know what she said? Nevaeh's sleeping. When I heard Nevaeh in the background laughing and talking, and she hung up the phone. That's how piece of crap she is. She wouldn't even let me talk to my daughter for her birthday. This happened for a couple of years. She wouldn't allow me to talk to my daughter for her birthday. Now she's 15 and she can call me on the tablet, um, the Chromebook that I gave her. No, the tablet. Yeah, she can call me on the tablet that I gave her. She also has a Chromebook that she calls me on Instagram because she's 15 now. So at that time she was 9. So she didn't have, a tablet. She didn't have a phone that she can pick up and call me on. So, yeah. And I asked her every year what she did for her birthday. She would say, "Oh, all she got me was a cake and some ice cream." She didn't get no birthday gifts. If y'all look on my channel, my kids done been to the Upside Down House. They done been to Dave and Buster's. They done been to, I think, Six Flags. They done been to, I want to say something else besides the Upside Down House. Oh, Legoland. They done been to all kind of places for their birthday. She's the only one every year she don't get nothing but a cake and fucking ice cream. And this is the woman that they said can take care of my child better than I can. 5 whole years This woman did nothing but buy her a cake and ice cream for 5 years. Straight consecutive years. Can you imagine being a child? And meanwhile, she said her uncle, who was younger than her, I think he was, she's she's 15, he's 11, so he's 4 years younger than me. So he was 4 at the time, and he got to go to Universal Studios. Um, he went with my aunt Tammy. Um, he also went to Six Flags. He's done been to Chuck E. Cheese. She had to go with them at that time for his birthday, because his birthday is after her birthday. So can you imagine getting cake and ice cream, and that's it, and a phone call from your mom and your dad, and that's all you get, and then turn around, come around Christmas, because he was born around Christmas. Come around Christmas, you got to go to Chuck E. Cheese with someone for their birthday in the same house. You took me from my mom to allow me to sit in the house to see someone else get Chuck E. Cheese, Universal Studios, Six Flags for their birthday. And I don't get nothing. And you know what this woman told me every time I asked her what's the reason why Nevaeh doesn't get to go anywhere and doesn't get anything for her birthday? You know what she said? Oh, she's bad. She's been bad. She's been bad. She doesn't behave. She's been bad every year for 5 fucking years. She said, she's been bad. She's been bad. And my children they aren't the best. Shoot, my daughter kicked up a fit. I think no, I didn't take her to Legoland last year. Last year she wanted uh $180 Switch, so I didn't take her to Legoland. But we did go to Dave and Buster's for her birthday, and then she had the Switch. But we didn't go to Legoland last year. She didn't want to go anyway because she went for Jonah's birthday, so she didn't want to go to Legoland. She wants to go to an amusement park that's open in December. And I'm like, well, the only amusement park is open all year round is like, Six Flags, Busch Gardens. She don't want to go to that. She want to go to a fair. Okay, she want to have a whole carnival for her birthday. Ain't nobody, ain't nobody coming. Okay, in December. But anyway, it's not even about her today. It's about my big girl, my 15-year-old girl, and it's sad. It's sad, and I'm spreading awareness on this. Before people call CPS on a certain person and they're listening to a family member, could be a family member, could be a mother, could be a father, make sure you know that family member that you're requesting to go ahead and back up. Because that family member might not be so squeaky clean. And I see it happen with a lot of people. A lot of people will go, oh, well, the grandmama said, well, the granddaddy said the mama been slack. But her people hurt people. We are a product of our own environment. I done heard that so many times. We are a product of our own environment. And to tell you the truth, I am glad that I am not. But now my daughter is following the trend. She's following my footsteps. She's running away. She's never at the house. I told her she want an iPhone 14 for her birthday. I told her I cannot get her an iPhone 14 because she has no parenting there. She said, "Mommy, what are you talking about? What parenting?" I said, "What parenting do you have with your grandmother?" She said, just like that. She said. She comes in whenever the fuck she feels like it. She leaves whenever she feels like it. She goes with whoever she feels like it. She's only 15. She's been doing this since she was 9. Since she got in her house. She was coming home at 10, 11 o'clock at night. And she would call me. This woman would call me, the person who she said couldn't fucking parent. She would call me and ask me to talk to Nevaeh to get her to come in the house. Can you please tell your daughter to come in the house at 10, 11 o'clock? But I thought I couldn't parent her. I thought I couldn't take care of her. But you call me. Father, too. The dad, too. Oh, and his only excuse is, oh, when I was in Georgia, oh, you're there. You're there. I'm not there. You've never been there. Newsflash. You wasn't there when she came out into the world. You've never been there. That's not new to me. Oh, you're there. I'm not there. You've never been there. You don't plan on being there. Five whole damn years. You don't plan on being there. But he was so quick to say to the judge that he wanted her to stay with her what? Her abusive and neglectful grandmother. He was quick to say that though. He was quick to put an opinion on that, but he wasn't quick to be there for his child when she needed him most. I'm not going to go into detail because that's not my story to tell about what happened to my daughter. But if y'all go look him in previous videos, I think I did somewhat elaborate on it. Not the full story, but somewhat elaborate on what happened to her. He wasn't there for that either. You're there. I'm not there. You've never been there. You've never been there. Then he gonna say, he told her today, I want to see if your mother get your iPhone. And I told her, I said, no, I can't get you an iPhone because you have no parenting. And if something happens to you, those two people are not going to give a damn. They don't care. She told him, she said, if I don't go with my mom, I'm going to run away. He said, okay. He said, you do what you want. That's fine. He told her just like that. He said, but I'm not recommending you go with your mama anywhere. I would rather you stay in a household where you come in whenever you like to, run away and go to a boy's house for 2 weeks at a time. Also, I asked that woman over there what happened when she did that. Why won't she let her come with me where she doesn't run away and go to boys' houses for 2 whole weeks and miss school, where the police had to show up and almost lock the little boy and his mama up. I got all the text messages from him and her proving this. If any of y'all want to see it, I can put it up on YouTube. Just let me know. Just drop it down in the comments. Where him and her was sitting there Oh, she's sitting there saying, I don't know, Nevaeh just ran off by herself. He's sitting there, man, you gotta talk to her. You gotta talk to her. She can't just run away like this. You gotta talk to her. That's why I say I love my husband. No man could ever take me, not any previous men that I've ever fucking been with, could ever take me from my husband. Because that man right there said, Nevaeh, you need to get your shit together. He went in the middle of the fucking night and picked her up and said, Nevaeh, you gotta stop what you're doing. That's a dad. A dad doesn't sit on the damn phone in New York and says, I don't know what to do with her. I don't know. I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna beat her ass. I'm gonna beat her ass. When I see her in May, it's now fucking, what is it, September. When I see her in March, I'm gonna beat her ass. I'm gonna fuck her up. I'm gonna beat her ass. This is the way he talks about his 15-year-old daughter. This is the way he talks about her. He doesn't say, I need to talk to her. Maybe something's going on. Maybe I need to figure out why she's having these issues. Maybe we need to connect on some kind of other level. No. You know who said those things? My husband. What happened? I made a flag. You made a flag? That's a pretty flag. It's a rainbow one. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just irritated now. She's 15, and her grandmother sat there and said, oh, well, she's going to be home when she turns 15. Now she said, I need to be patient, and I need to wait on her and her system. The government system that your ass is living off of, that's the system you talking about? When it run out, that don't run out, I guess, until she turned 18. They done finally told her dumb ass that, and then Nevaeh ain't gonna have no money. Just like her mama didn't. Her mama didn't have no money. That decrepit, broke bitch, she didn't believe in college fund. She didn't believe in shit. She didn't believe in parenting. So she definitely didn't believe in college fund. And I got accepted to all the colleges. She didn't set me up for success. So that's why I got pregnant at 17, because I was already, you get my a product of my environment. I was turning into that already. Shit, she was setting me up at 12 years old. I didn't know that, but I know now. Now that I'm grown, because she told me, yeah, it's okay for you to wear tight shorts. It's okay for you to wear a little shirt showing your boobies at 12 years old. Men, 30-year-old men trying to holler at me walking down the street because they think I'm 17, 18, going somewhere. I'm walking to school. The school, like, you can't come in here like that. Go back home. This is the woman they gave her to. This is the woman that said, oh, well, she's so clean. Her house is so clean. That's the reason. No, that wasn't the reason. The reason is because they wanted my children to be a statistic. As soon as they found out my husband wasn't playing that with his daughter, he said, I don't care. My daughter came in here fully healthy. She didn't have a diaper rash, a pink eye, a cold, the flu. She had all her shots. She had everything in order. When she got there, she had pink eye, she had bed bugs, she had numerous diaper rashes to the point where she had blisters on her. Yes, they had documentation out of all of this. She had it so bad, she's scarred in her back. She has scars that's gonna forever be there. They told us we could put some steroid cream on it, and I don't believe in that. Put some steroid cream and it'll lessen the scars. It wouldn't take away the scars. It would lessen the scars. And this is the government system that y'all trust to protect y'all children? I don't know. I I ain't gonna go there with that one because there is some children out there that need it, but those are the children that they ignore. I mean, just look it up. Look at the reports. Those are the children that they ignore. You had one, uh, the grandmother beat her to death. The father was fighting for her. You had another one. The mama put the children in the damn oven and made the big brother watch. You had another one. She drowned her damn kids, and they didn't find out until 2 months later when the body started stinking. Come on, just look at the reports. But the healthy and the stable families, they hurry up and snatch them kids and put them in an unstable environment. The kids grow up telling this fucking horror stories about how they got molested or they got abused or they got, taken advantage of in some kind of way, whether they were sex trafficked or they didn't eat and they was neglected. They hurry up and throw them in them homes, in those kind of environments. Stupid people do stupid stuff. So people sit up here and look at people, and I watch so many channels they call CPS on these people, and you think CPS gonna take these children out the home? No, they're not. If the home is messed up, as you say they are. Now, well, one case, if you have a father that is about their kids, they're not going to do that because they don't want to get sued. So they're going to take them children out the home. Key and point, I'm about to start reacting back on her so I can say her name. Miss Lives Life. They went in there and they did it. Why? Because they had a father who gave a damn. Because when my husband went down to the damn CPS supervisor meeting and he told them how my daughter was in full, complete fucking health because they had to give them a health exam, guess who came home? Guess who the fuck they sent home? But you had the other one in New York who didn't do shit, who they knew was a piece of shit. They hurry up and did what he asked to put her in a bad environment, hoping that she would die. She would either die, get strung out, end up in the streets. And I'm not saying it's a race thing because it doesn't happen to, all kind of race of children. But half of the children that come out of the system, regardless of their race, they're either strung out, forever in counseling, and still have issues, or they're dead. They kill themselves. Can't nobody ever say that a child came out of the foster care system. I'm not talking about the adoption system. I'm talking about the foster care system, which is two different systems. Look it up. The foster care system, and actually made it. And they actually had a great life. Hmm. But, like I said, stupid people win stupid prizes. So now my daughter's forever scarred. And, she's going to see her trauma that she's enduring because now she's about to hit 16. And that's when your mind starts to change a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit towards, okay, I'm about to become a young woman soon. And it really starts to hit you. And, I'm going to be there for her. Once reality smacks her upside the face, because it did me. Once it smacked her ass upside the face and she realized that her whole fucking childhood was taken from her and she was never a fucking child. I'll be here. I didn't have anybody. Because when I explained that to my mother, she looked at me and told me it was my fault. That she was the way she was. How the fuck is it my fault? If I didn't even know I was going to be here. She looked at me and told me it was my fault. The reason why she fucked my daddy at 16 and left her house at 16 and never got a diploma and never did anything but lay on her back for my dad. It was my fault. That was all me. I'm being dead serious. She told me that it was my fault. So once Nevaeh realizes that she got robbed and the trauma sets in and the depression sets in and the confusion sets in, I'll be here. I'm going to be here for her. Because right now she's running from it. And I chose to do that as well. As a young teenage girl, I ran from it. And I ran the way Yolanda taught me. I ran by going to boys' houses and hanging out with fast young girls and drinking and smoking and doing all the things that you're not supposed to do at such a prime time in your life. Like you're still developing really, really hard at that time. But I was just running from pain. That's all I knew. I had to run from it because otherwise, if I let it consume me, it was going to kill me. So I'm gonna tell you some of the stuff that you know I went through, so y'all can see what the fuck my daughter went through. So today is her birthday. I asked her what she doing for her birthday. She said, I'm gonna get cake and ice cream. She's not 8. What the fuck? So instead of her grandmother, like a normal grandmother, they would normally get you maybe an outfit. If they're old school, they'll get you an outfit. They'll get you some kind of bath stuff. They'll maybe give you a $5 gift card to Dollar Tree. If they ain't got much money, they'll get you a birthday card, something. Her grandmother's not gonna say happy birthday to her. When she leaves and goes out with her friends the next day, she's gonna get to the point where she starts telling her she's a hoe. She doesn't amount to anything. She does that already, but she's definitely going to do it now that she done hit her prime years, her 15, 16. Because, like I said, my mom was 16 years old when my dad decided that she was old enough to be a woman and took her. My grandmother sold her, but my dad took her at 16. So, to her, Nevaeh's at that age that she was at. So that's old enough for her to my mother. This is my mother's mind. This is the shit they don't do in CPS. They don't fucking evaluate anybody. That's why I said before you call CPS on someone, please make sure you vet who you're getting your information from. Who you're deciding to get your information from. This woman believes that a 16-year-old girl is a grown woman. You know why? Because she was a 16-year-old girl with a grown ass man. My grandmother didn't stop him. My granddaddy tried to stop him, but he ended up getting beat up by my dad. And then they ran off to New York together. So she had a mother who didn't care about her. What do you think she did to me? At 16 years old, I was, I was drinking beer. I was drinking beer. I was, hanging out all times of the night. My mother didn't care. She ain't bad eye. Okay. And she grown. That's what she said. She grown. My dad said she's not grown. She's only 16. Can't point why I got pregnant at 17. Do I want that for my children? No. Did CPS hear all of this? Yes. Did they do anything to investigate Yolanda? No. The 16 CPS cases, how I found out she had 16, is because they told me. They said you should be happy that we have the Atlanta Fulton County DFAC system, Department of Children and Family Services, for who don't know what DFAC stands for, told me that I should be happy that they decided to discredit 16 CPS cases from my mother on me, and I should be happy. I should be grateful that they discredited them, because if not, they would have to take my children and place them in someone else's care. So I should be happy. Instead of returning my children from the person who started the fucking case, who made these allegations, I should be happy. This is the system y'all trust. This is the system that y'all call on people. Like I said, if you think that they come there and they look around and they say, oh, this is not a good environment for children when it actually isn't, you're stupid. They know that it's not a good environment and they will leave those children there. If it is a good environment, they will then find any nitpick reason they can to remove those children. This is the backwards ass system that y'all trust. Now, like I said, key and point, if you have a good father, not all the time, because you have some CPS workers that actually do their job, like in Decatur, Georgia. When my mother first made a case against me, the worker said, she's full of shit. You need to leave your mother alone. I regret my decision. I'm going to repeat that. The CPS worker said my mother was full of shit and that I need to leave my mother alone. I regret my decision to ever trust that decrepit ass witch that I had called. Oh, by the way, they would not take that CPS case as evidence that I had, what do you call it, good character or whatever. They would not take that case because they said it was from a different county. Excuse after fucking excuse after excuse. It took them 3 months to get my daughter vetted by a doctor to say that my husband abused her, as they said, by hitting her. 2 whole months. That's all I got to say about that. 2 whole fucking months. If somebody beat the shit out of you, 2 months later you go to the doctor from the police station. Let me see what evidence you have. If somebody beat the shit out of you and you go down to the police station and you have visible wounds, wouldn't they take you to the hospital right then and there? But if you have no visible signs and no visible marks and no visible of anything happening to you, wouldn't they tell you go home, we'll investigate? Something to think about. By the way, they said they didn't take her to the doctor. But when we actually asked for the evidence from my attorney, it say the medical reports were backlogged due to little to no evidence of physical harm. They finally, 2 months later, got a doctor to say it might have came from him whipping her with a belt. It might. Literally is what it said in the report. Literally is what it says in my court documents. It might have happened. This is bullshit. Anyway, so now she's been with an abuser for 5 years, and she gets to spend her birthday with an abuser instead of going with her mom, who would have probably took her to go get her nails done. Go do what 15-year-old girls are excited to do. Go get her nails done. Go get her hair, braid up her hair, because I can't afford these hairstylists these days. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not making YouTube check. I don't make YouTube money yet. So I probably go to the store, go get her hair. We braid up her hair, or she braids up her hair, whatever. We braid it together, but we'll go get the nails done and the toes done. Then I see, like I said, I have no problem buying my daughter an iPhone. I bought her. She said I bought her an iPhone SE when she was younger. But see, that was before I knew how bad Yolanda had gotten, where she wasn't parenting Nevaeh at all. When I was younger, she did parent somewhat. She did check who I was going with, make sure I was in the house, make sure I wasn't talking to boys, make sure I didn't, venture off into too grown of a world. Check the men that's around me. She made sure of all of that when I was younger. Yolanda didn't do none of that with Nevaeh. Not a fucking thing. She didn't care who she was around. She didn't care who she was talking to. She did tell me she couldn't have a cell phone. I wanted her to have a cell phone because I wanted her to be able to call me. She did say she couldn't have a cell phone. I said, okay, cool. But then she allowed her son to have a cell phone to be able to call his dad. Yeah, I'll let y'all sit on that one. She did allow her son a cell phone that she paid faithfully so he can call his dad. Anywho, um, yeah, I've been on here for 45 minutes. I mean, I just want to make that a PSA. Please, please, please. If you're going to call, I'm not saying there aren't situations because, like I said, Liv's life, for instance, that worked out. That really did. And she's complaining, oh, my children was kidnapped. And there's so much documentation. That's why I said I don't never mute my camera. I never mute it. Um, you know, I have no problem showing it. I just don't like showing my house because my house is full. But I have no problem showing me interacting with my kids because I have nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide here. But, as far as certain people, like Liv, she has to mute her camera. Um, there's times where she forgets to mute her camera and she done told the little baby to watch her other children and stuff like that, and she done ignored her children. So I'm glad that that worked out. I'm happy that somebody was concerned enough to call, and there was an actual CPS worker that cared and did their fucking job. I'm happy. But it was also the footwork of the father that did that. Don't put all of that on CPS. It was also the father that did that, because if y'all remember, the CPS worker came in there and told her everything was fine, that she was doing an awesome job, and she was happy to brag about it. She was doing a great job snorting cocaine and living with a sex offender. She was doing a great, awesome job. So, yeah. But once the father dug into the people's ass and got her pulled into court, that's when they did something. That's when they removed the children due to safety issues and due to her living with a sex offender, and due to the fact that uh, she was neglectful as hell and has always been. It was due to the father. And he had to shell out a lot of fucking money. So a lot of people was mad at him because he made her pay for it. But I would have made him pay for it too. I would have made her pay for it if I was a guy and You know, the mother wasn't acting right or he wasn't acting right. If I was a woman, I would have made him pay for it because you're not taking care of the kids and you have the kids. That's not my fault that you don't want to take care of your children. And then they went for joint custody. She kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. Now he has full. Her ass should have shut the fuck up and take the joint custody. I mean, you wanted to be a part time mom anyway because you was part time dealing with your fucking kids in your house full time. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into reacting on that. Y'all want to see that? I'll make my reaction channel. I'll probably do it today. I'll probably go over there. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it into the link once I set it up today, and I'll see y'all on over there. All right, bye.